If I'd known you was here, I would have brought the cavalry out today. But on behalf of NRD Phoenix, we love you and we thank you, sir. She's at all of our functions. She earned the right to be called the shipmate like her son. I'd like to begin this service with a moment of silence to honor all those whose lives were cut short defending our nation. Let us also pause a moment to think about their families, the people who loved and cherished them, who will always carry the burdens resulting from their tragic loss. Today, we honor every man and every woman who has proudly worn the uniform and bravely defended our nation while protecting its people from the evils of this world. Every American, no matter where they live or what they do, reaps the benefit of their service. Today, all across the nation, patriotic Americans are gathering at events like this one and others throughout the year and are remembering the countless sacrifices of our nation's veterans. As we honor them, we should also reflect on the many costs attached to our victories over tyranny and the many liberties we enjoy today because of their selflessness and sacrifices. Our veterans cherish the values and virtues upon which our nation was founded and bravely answered the call to preserve them. We owe so much to today's generation of great patriots and to those of the past as well. As I stand here today, we mustn't forget the thousands of our best and brightest who are deployed to all corners of the earth, defending our freedoms. We pray for their safe return, and we stand ready to support their families while they are away. Americans have always fought for our freedoms, dating back to our founding days and the Revolutionary War. And we know firsthand that only at great cost can the concept of liberty and justice become a reality. Only with great sacrifice will freedom prevail. Through the years, it has been those who have worn the uniform, tenaciously defending and preserving our way of life, who have paid the ultimate price. America's proud Marines, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guardmen. I want you to think for a moment about that comment. During World War II, 14% of our people in the House of Representatives and 8% of our people in the Senate served in our armed forces. Today, I'm sad to say that number is less than 1%. 1941, over 80% of our nation's young served in World War II. Today, I am sad to say that only 2% of us carry on the fight for these freedoms that I am speaking about. Each page of American history is etched with the sacrifice of our armed forces. On each page, the legacy of their accomplishment is written. From the Spanish-American War in 1898 in Cuba and the Philippines to the battlefields of the Aragon Forest and Bellewood during World War I, to the beaches of Normandy in Europe and the islands like Guadalcanal and Iwo Jima and Okinawa of the Pacific during World War II. Our armed forces fought against the evil trinity of the world, the Axis power. After years of intense fighting, America prevailed, liberating continents and millions of their citizens from the dark grip of cruelty and repression. And when communism threatened freedom-loving nations, our military held the line. Thousands of America's finest died fighting in Korea, and thousands more have served there in the years since to ensure South Korea remains free. That reminds me of a good friend of mine who's out in the crowd somewhere, my cowboy. He sent me a video of a 76-year-old guy getting his high school diploma in 2006 at a high school called Spade, Texas High School. This gentleman quit high school to join the Korean conflict. He was 100 that went on the Korea Death March. If you know anything about your history, they captured 100 POWs. 97 died on the journey from South Korea to North America. He was one of the 3 that survived. And he is a living hero today in a small town called Spade, Texas. That is what fighting for your country is all about. During the Cold War, when the Soviet Union eyed world domination, it was our military that suppressed their ambitious plan. Because of our armed forces, Western Europe became home to democracy, and it blossomed and spread throughout other nations around the world. More than 3 million of our service people served in Vietnam. And sadly, looking at that wall, 58,000 never made the return journey home. That is why we are here today, to remember. Fighting against a determined enemy, they were also forced to contend with a harsh and extreme environment. Jungle, insects, disease, heat, and humidity. Worst of all, the hostility and the alienation they felt from some of their own countrymen. But our military has more than preserved since all of those dark days. Our armed forces bravely go wherever needed, to places like Panama, Lebanon, Haiti, Kosovo, Bosnia, Somalia, Grenada, Southwest Asia during Operation Desert Storm. And today our military continues to endure the longest sustained war in our history. It is an undeniable fact that American veterans earn every one of the benefits promised to them by making a commitment that 99% of other Americans are simply unwilling to make. As Americans, we all equally share the responsibility to ensure that our veterans are cared for. That responsibility is owned to and extended to service members who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and especially to our wounded warriors. As veterans of foreign war, we have been unrelenting in our efforts to secure sufficient treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injuries. We have championed for care for our military families, battled for increased funding for child care, spousal support, career development, lodging and education, and for more than a decade, we fought for and finally secured the post-9/11 GI Bill. In its simple words, the ceremonies we offer in honor of our veterans will ring hollow if collectively we are willing to do anything less for the men and women who have done so much for each of us. When a defender of this nation returns home, we, you and me, must be committed to ensuring they are able to obtain timely, adequate health care and all that they so justly deserve from the government. Our veterans have earned the right to be treated with dignity and respect, and you can help make sure that happens by pushing American leaders to do the right thing when it comes to veterans. Before I leave here today, let me offer a prayer of thanks to those who are currently serving and for the brave souls of our departed comrades, friends, and loved ones. Let us always remember the freedoms our veterans have earned for all of us. and let us always draw strength and inspiration from what they have done. We're truly privileged to have such heroes among us. And before I close, I would be remiss if I did not honor the firemen and policemen who are out here today and who are serving throughout this country. I grew up in New York City, and on 9/11, I lost 31 of my classmates from my high school. So I respect you, I love you for the job you do. God bless you, and God bless this great country of ours. Thank you.
That's my brother, Bobby Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.